Hey, what's up? What's going on? Thank you very much for joining me on another ride. Today I am on the road on the Honda CRF250L and I would like to discuss how this bike is on the road. Part of the reason of buying a dual sport is that both you want to ride it off-road and on-road. So let's discuss what this bike's like on the road.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Today I'm riding with a buddy of mine. He's on the Husqvarna Sparkpillen, which is obviously a far more road-focused bike than mine. We'll be heading from Tel Aviv towards Jerusalem, then we'll continue down towards the Dead Sea, just passing by Jordan. We'll do a quick U-turn, and then we'll head back up the famous Route 90 with a small stint inside the West Bank, and then back to Tel Aviv. All in all, the journey should be around about 290 kilometers. And I'm going to do my best to keep up with my guy on the road bike over here. Just a small disclaimer before I start talking about the bike on the road. I really love riding, which means that I can tolerate quite a lot of discomfort before I need to stop or feel like I'm frustrated. So my tolerance to discomfort might be slightly different to yours, just because I really enjoy riding so much. Obviously, comfort is a very objective thing. I use this bike for everything. It's my daily commuter, even though because of COVID I work from home, so I don't really have a commute anymore. But before then, it was my daily commuter. I use it for long journeys on my own. It's my primary mode of transport. I use it for trips with the wife. We've been on like 2-hour-long rides on it. Obviously, I take it off-road. I've been to the desert in it. I've done anything from hill climbs, single track, to rock gardens, and anything else you can think of. So the bike has absolutely no wind protection. Obviously the rally version has a windscreen which looks pretty decent. It is something I feel that is lacking when I ride. I do get beaten about by the wind quite a lot, and it does tire you out, and it's obviously uncomfortable. But I do feel, because of the look of the bike, if I was to add a windscreen it would look shit. So it's not something that I really intend on doing. But there are aftermarket options available. Alright, so I better address the elephant in the room from the get-go. This bike is weak. It has 24 horsepower on a good day. That means in order to keep up with traffic on the freeway, I am in 6th gear at like 7 to 8,000 RPM. If you want to overtake anything that's moving at a decent speed, forget about it. It's never going to happen. You do get the feeling sometimes that you're quite vulnerable because of the lack of power. And if you do go for an overtake and a car decides to change its speed, you can get stuck, which is a bit frustrating. But having said that, this is a dirt bike that I can ride on the freeway, and I do often. As you can see, we're on a 300 kilometer ride right now with fast moving traffic, and I'm not the slowest thing on the road. So it's pretty impressive if you consider the overall package. Tyre choice is really important when it comes to riding on the road. The stock tyres that come with the CRF250L are actually pretty decent on the street, but they are shit off-road. So I switched them out for the Pirelli MT21s, which were amazing off-road. They're a more aggressive dirt bike tyre. However, on the street they were screaming at me and they felt like they were always slipping out. So I switched those again for these, which are the Michelin Anakee Wilds, which I have been running for about a year now. And they are a fantastic tyre. They do really well on-road, they do really well off-road, and they seem to be a perfect balance for me. One thing about riding the CRF250L long distances, whether that's on-road or off-road, is that it has a really small fuel capacity. The fuel tank is 7.7 litres, which means that you have to fill it up pretty frequently. And on a ride like this, where I'm on the freeway for long distances, riding in 6th gear in high revs, I burn through fuel really quickly. That means I'll probably stop for fuel about twice. That also means that if you're riding between places without any filling stations, you're going to need to carry spare fuel, because you will definitely run out. Having said that, it costs almost nothing to fill the thing, which is always nice. I run a stock seat on my CRF250L, and I ride long distances quite frequently. It's not that uncomfortable for me. I know a lot of people complain about the comfort of the stock seat, and there are upgrades available. You can buy the seat concept seat, which a lot of people say really improves the riding experience. But I ride stock and it doesn't really bother me that much. The only thing I will say is riding 2 up with a pillion passenger is a nightmare. The bike is really off balance, mainly because of its height. The suspension is soft, so it drops quite a lot, and the whole geometry of the bike is thrown out of whack when you ride with a passenger. So it is not fun, it is a lot of work, and it's uncomfortable. Otherwise the bike's super comfy. Check out how easy it is to just slip past the border by mistake. The sign in front of me that says now entering area A Everything past that sign is full Palestinian control, and everything in front of that sign is full Israeli control. It's a bit off topic, but I guess I get to have a trip in another country, which is super rare during 2020. Whether or not this bike is good on the road is really a matter of perspective. If you're looking for a bike to take you on long journeys on the road or as a commuter, then this is really quite a terrible option. The bike doesn't perform great on the road. However, if you look at it for what it is, which is a bargain basement dual sport bike that takes you everywhere and does everything, and it can go on the road and off the road and join the trails and the road and the trails again together, it can take you to the desert and climb mountains, then this is a fantastic performing bike on the road. The bike pulls really well for its power. You can sit at 70 miles an hour, you can even push to 80. No, it's not the most comfortable bike in the world, and obviously if I had the budget for two bikes, a dirt focused bike and a road focused bike, then I wouldn't have this as an option anyway. However, for what it is, it's an incredible compromise. I'm always happy riding this bike, it doesn't matter what's going on. Even if it's in the rain, even if it's long distances, I love the bike, on the road, off the road, everywhere. It's a great compromise if you're looking to do everything. Thank you so much for joining me on this ride and listening to my ramblings. If you made it to the end of the video, please consider subscribing, and I will see you in the next video. Peace!
Bye.